Hello and welcome to Vallo Vision News. I'm Jonathan Weed. Thank you so much for watching. While many of us were focused on the presidential election, the COVID pandemic refused to take a break. Cases are skyrocketing across the U.S., now passing 10 million. But an announcement for a possible vaccine breakthrough has many encouraged, and President-elect Biden is rolling out his plan to get the pandemic under control. Camila Bernal has our story.
COVID-19 rages at a pace the United States has never seen. There have been more than 10 million cases of coronavirus in the country.
These are very big numbers nationally, and it's accelerating very quickly.
But there may be a breakthrough. Pfizer says early results show its vaccine is more than 90% effective.
It's a very important day for humanity.
The vaccine requires 2 doses, and more study is needed to determine how long immunity to the virus lasts. It's also not clear when the vaccine may be available to most Americans. But when it is, Pfizer CEO says it will be free.
It's coming at a time that the world needs it the most.
President Trump tweeted his excitement, saying such great news, and President-elect Joe Biden also pleased but cautious.
This vaccine, even if approved, will not be widely available for many months yet to come. The challenge before us right now is still immense and growing.
After attending a briefing with his new COVID task force, the president-elect has one message: to take the politics out of the pandemic.
We could save tens of thousands of lives if everyone would just wear a mask for the next few months. Not Democrat or Republican lives, American lives.
In Washington, I'm Camila Bernal.
Pfizer's vaccine isn't approved yet by the FDA. The drug maker says it's planned to seek emergency use authorization, but it must wait until participants are studied for at least 2 months. After receiving their second dose of the vaccine, the company says that milestone should be reached later this month. Governor Kay Ivey has extended the state's mask order. The extension is through Friday, December 11th. The order requires that masks must be worn in all schools and in most public places. However, the governor did relax some of the restrictions placed on businesses. You can see the full details about the Alabama mask order on our Facebook page. So far, there has been more than 3,000 COVID-related deaths in Alabama. More than 205,000 Alabamians have contracted the virus. Let's take a look at the numbers here at UM. There are 7 active student cases. That, according to data on UM's COVID-19 dashboard, all infected students are in isolation off campus. So far, there have been 112 student cases this year. There are currently no active employee cases. COVID has impacted almost every aspect of campus life this semester, including eating in the caf. Employees are following health and safety guidelines as they work to keep students and faculty fed during the pandemic. That includes extra cleaning and working behind more plexiglass barriers.
We hoping and praying that everybody can get back to normal as possible, but make sure we stay sanitized and stay our safe distance and wearing our masks. Even though I don't have mine on today, I do have it with me.
Changes are coming to UM's dining options in Farmer Hall this week. Both Moe's and Smooth Sailing will permanently close this Friday. The university will add a new restaurant, Pita Pit, in the same location. The Thanksgiving holiday is almost here, and for most students, that means traveling home to celebrate the holiday. Reporter Mandy Gaither shows us how flying home for the holidays will look different this year.
It's an industry still reeling from the pandemic.
It has been devastating.
But this holiday season, airlines are hoping more travelers take to the skies.
U.S. airlines, since the onset of this pandemic, have absolutely prioritized the safety and health of all passengers and their crew members. They're leaning into science to make decisions.
The industry group Airlines for America hoping to ease travelers' minds when it comes to safety. In addition to rigorous cleaning of aircraft, the organization says during check-in, passengers can expect to be asked simple health questions like, have you been exposed to COVID-19? And they recommend you get to the airport early.
You may think not as many people are traveling. I can get to the airport at the last minute. And I would caution you the other way. Go ahead and allow extra time.
And plan ahead, especially when it comes to food.
Not all vendors are open at all of the airports. So you may want to grab a snack and an empty water bottle, and then you can fill up the water bottle on the other side of TSA.
For today's Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And don't forget that all classes will transition to remote learning after the Thanksgiving holiday. However, campus will still be open for students through the end of finals week. And big news for seniors who will graduate next month. has announced it is planning to host an in-person commencement ceremony. Fall commencement is scheduled for 10:30 a.m. on December 12th. Unlike previous December graduations, this one will be held outside on Flower Hill lawn because of COVID-19. Each graduate will be allowed to invite 4 guests, and all attendees will be required to wear masks. The ceremony will also be live streamed. The university says it plans to hold a special ceremony for last spring's graduates sometime next semester. Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week. You can also see more campus and community stories from our student reporters on our website, vallovisionnews.wordpress.com. Still ahead on Vallo Vision News, AirPod problems, why Apple is replacing some customers' AirPods for free, plus
while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
shattering a glass ceiling, how Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is inspiring young girls across the USA. But first, he is the man with all the answers, and you'd better know the questions. We remember the lifelong-time Jeopardy host Alex Trebek. That story when we come back.
Vallo is listed as one of the most beautiful public college campuses, but it has so much more than good looks. It's been named a college of distinction 7 years running. Plus, it offers 75 majors and the chance to belong to more than 90 campus organizations. Visit youbelong at montevallo.com to learn more.
This band's monster album included Crush with Eyeliner. REM.
Fans of Jeopardy are remembering the show's lifelong host Alex Trebek, who died Sunday morning. According to official Jeopardy Twitter account, Trebek died at his home in California, surrounded by friends and family. He announced last year that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. As the host of Jeopardy, Trebek earned 5 Daytime Emmy Awards and the Lifetime Achievement Award for Outstanding Game Show Host. From the Television Academy, Jeopardy! Executive producer Mike Richards calls Trebek the most professional person he has ever worked with.
He was battling cancer, pain, chemo, exhaustion, but you couldn't tell when the cameras rolled. So as a professional, the fact that he kept pushing and that he recorded his final, what would now be his final episodes, less than 2 weeks ago, it gives you an idea of just how much he believed in the show, how much he cared for it.
Trebek's Jeopardy! Episode will air through Christmas. Alex Trebek was 80 years old. In other news, Apple is replacing faulty AirPods for free. The company says some of the AirPods Pro's devices may have some sound issues, including crackling or static sounds, and the noise cancellation not working as expected. Apple says affected units were manufactured before October 2020. The replacement program covers the AirPod Pro for 2 years after they are sold. Your WhatsApp conversations will no longer have to last forever. The messaging service is introducing an option that allows conversations to disappear after a week. Officials at WhatsApp says they hope that this will give users a peace of mind. The disappearing messages should be available by later this month. America's largest retailer is teaming up with Salvation Army to provide holiday assistance to millions who have fallen on hard times this year. In addition to the traditional bell ringers and kettles outside of Walmart stores, there will be opportunities to give inside at the cash register. Walmart will offer customers the options to round up their purchases to the nearest dollar and donate the difference to Salvation Army. The charity promotion is also available on the Walmart.com and through the Walmart app. We'll be right back.
Create your future as a social media manager, filmmaker, journalist, and so much more with a degree in communication studies and mass communication. Visit montevallo.edu/COFA for more information. You belong at Montevallo.
The 2020 election broke many records. More votes were cast for the Biden-Harris ticket than any other presidential ticket in U.S. history. Joe Biden will become the oldest U.S. president at the age of 78 when he takes the oath of office in January. But in some ways, the election of Kamala Harris as vice president is even more historic than Biden's election as commander-in-chief. Our country has had many white male presidents and vice presidents, but Harris is the first woman, first black person, and first South Asian to be vice president-elect. CNN Kyun La looks at how her election is inspiring others.
Wearing the color of the women's right to vote movement a century ago, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris showed the world what the future now holds.
Every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibility.
The audience mirroring her message.
Now we know that we have hope to do that.
From those who saw her in person.
As a refugee myself that I came here 11 years ago, I'm really excited to see her in the office.
To those who spilled into city streets.
Today was a monumental day. I didn't wake up this morning expecting for this to be one of the best days of my life, but it really is.
To posts across social media. Women and girls, especially those of color, celebrating themselves, finally reflected in one of the most powerful positions in the country. Paving the path has been a passion for Harris, the daughter of Jamaican and Indian immigrants, a mission instilled in her by her late mother, as she told me during her own presidential run.
When I see those little girls in particular, I mean, I see myself, right? And I see the children of my family, and I see the children of our country, and I see the promise of our country. My mother had many sayings, and one of them is, you may be the first
to do many things, make sure you're not the last.
A dream now realized.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
And it's not just with future generations that Harris hopes to have an impact. It's with women right now. As we saw during her presidential run and also her time as a senator, she hires a diverse staff leaning on women of color, and not just in numbers of staff, but in placing those women in decision-making roles. Kyung La, CNN, Scottsdale, Arizona.
Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search Vallo Vision News on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for more stories throughout the week. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again next week.